Hey, hey.
Work smarter where you want.
This is learning at its most fun.
Alrighty, good morning, everyone. Thank you again for joining us for another new partner spotlight. My name is Jonathan Maddock. I'm a trainer here at Redtail Technology. This week we have Real Wealth Marketing. For those of you who aren't aware of what Real Wealth Marketing is, they are a drip marketing program that educates your clients and prospects about why they need to work with you. Real Wealth works with your compliance team so that you don't have to. Make sure that all email and social media posts are compliant and automated for you. Among other things, we also have Jade Paxelt and also Angela Silbernagel with me today. Jade is part of their advisor success team. Her role is mainly working with one-on-one with the advisors to make sure that they can automate the Real Wealth system and make sure that everything is good to go as they implement. They also have provide a full-blown marketing consultant to kick off the service so that you guys can make sure that you are using it effectively right off the bat. Also, Angela is the director of marketing, and she works closely with Jade on implementing new strategic partnerships and taking advantage of opportunities to spread financial literacy. Welcome, ladies. I appreciate you joining me today.
Thank you so much for having us. We're so excited about this.
Yes, we are as well. You guys are, based off of what I've seen, the technology looks awesome. I'm super excited to jump right into it and to see everything that you guys have to offer. So with that being said, take it away.
Fantastic. So, thank you so much for introducing us, Jonathan. That was wonderful. And again, my name is Jade, and I also have Angela here with me. Hi, guys. And we are very excited about this for a couple of reasons. Number one, this whole Real Wealth system we're about to show you and demo with the integration, we literally made it up. We invented it. We're not some random marketing team promoting a product that we had to learn how to use. We made it up because we developed it out of demand. We've been producing some awesome content for many, many years, and everyone said the same thing. This is great, but I don't have time. I don't have technology, knowledge, so on and so forth. So we kind of took other programs that had similar features and made it very specific to the financial professional's needs. And then also, we're very, very proud about how the whole Redtail integration worked. We worked very, very closely with their API team and all that fancy stuff, and we're very careful and respectful about, financial private information versus marketing information. So this is going to be a wild ride to show you today. We're very, very proud of it. A little bit of history, just to make sure you understand who we are and what we do. We produce a two-part marketing program for financial professionals. So actually only half of what we do is this awesome marketing content and the automation, all the great stuff that we'll be focusing in on today. But also, just so you are aware, we have an entire other half of our program called Power Session Live, where we take those marketing pieces of the content, the new ideas and strategies that are being presented in consumer format via podcasts and email marketing and so on and so forth. On Power Session Live, we bring in those industry experts to actually share their behind-the-scenes sales ideas with you. So not only are your consumers being educated, but you're also being updated and informed about the newest and best prospecting ideas. So a great example of that would be, Van Miller, Ed Slott, and actually Tom Hegna have been on PBS. They have their own PBS shows. They're very well known in consumer circles. The webinars and the consumer podcast is all so comprehensive, and it's so important, and that's why our core mission is to educate and inspire Americans to make smart decisions with their money, and we know that the best way to do that is with financial professionals, qualified professionals. So these great experts are kind of sharing their sales ideas to help you be the best advisor you can be. And then on our podcast programming, we bring in similar minds and other great speakers to share the message with your consumers. And genuinely, Angela and I could sit here all day talking about how much we love the consumer content and the podcast, but let me just boil it down for you for sake of the actual, subject matter of the webinar today. The whole point of the show, no matter who the guest is or who the topic is or how great it is, no matter what, the moral of the story is, go work with your financial professional to achieve your goals. here's some incredible stories and then pieces of information about why you shouldn't be doing this by yourself. So even though, you know, Curtis Cloak and Tom Hagner, for example, they're advisors, they're not on the consumer podcast saying, now go to tomhagner.com and be my client. They're saying, listen to these great ideas, now go talk to the quality professional who gave this information to you because they are very valuable for you.
Yeah, so we've been doing the content and the both sides of things. This is Angela, by the way. Hi, everyone. We've been doing the content for about a decade. And just like Jade said, about 3 years ago, we kept hearing from advisors, this, you know, I have to submit to compliance, it's, you know, the pain in my side. I don't have time to send out this great content every week. Can you help? And we finally created our own system so that we could help our advisors get this information out. Because again, our core mission is to raise the financial literacy in our country. We totally believe that you are the key to our success because you understand this complex topic that most consumers don't learn in schools. They get from the lunchroom. They're not learning, you know, the best information possible. So that's why we wanted to work with you and support you in getting the word out to your clients, your prospects, your communities. So about 3 years ago, we developed a system we're about to show you so that we could accommodate, you know, compliance pre-approvals, get all that done for you, and automate. So it is so cool. So just recently, a couple months ago, we integrated with Redtail. We have been fine-tuning it for just these past couple of months with a select few of our, you know, best advisors to make it perfect. So that's what we're so excited to show you today.
And really the biggest thing is our whole core mission to help support you is to be as turnkey but quality as possible. So this whole automation, the integration, the theme of today is so important because we're working really hard on creating some great content for you and we don't want to just drop it on your lap. So that's why all of these things tie in together and we just can't wait to demonstrate it. So with that, I'm actually going to, you know, X out of these slides here and show you some real live demos because there's nothing better than seeing it in person. So voila, you should be looking at my computer screen. I have a whole bunch of samples and great stuff to show you today. And, you know, just to start at the core of what we're talking about, I'm actually going to demonstrate a real integration for you. So I'm going to hop into the contacts menu. You can see I've obviously connected it before in my sample account. I don't really think that Justin and Haley Bieber are my clients, although it would be great. That would be very cool. But this is what's going to happen when you do this off the top. And by the way, we do this with you. I can't stress the automation, the hands-on, getting you started. Can't stress it enough. So I'm going to, from the actions dropdown, click Integrate Redtail. And it's going to start syncing up and ask you to log in as though you are logging into your Redtail CRM. So this is my sample account. Ron Swanson, I don't know if any of you guys are Parks and Rec fans, but if you are, I think you'll get a little giggle out of our sample account today. And then once you do the integration, this is what's really important and very, very powerful. This is not just a two-way data dump. This was thought out very, very carefully. So you get to pick and configure who comes in and who doesn't, more importantly. Perhaps you have a Redtail contact status called deceased. You definitely don't want to be doing some automated marketing to your deceased clients because that can be pretty disrespectful. So you can actually pick out any contact statuses that you want to come out. This is the top of the filter, so to speak. But what's really interesting about this is actually reading my Redtail account. So I created these fields in my Redtail CRM. So they all match up right here. So you can pick out either none of them and it will take everybody, or maybe you want to actively market to, you know, these particular contact statuses. I'm not going to go too crazy. You guys probably use the CRM as well, and if you're not, you should be. But notice how, I don't know if you guys noticed in Redtail, if you don't pick a contact status, not specified will be the default. So that is included as well. So that way you're not missing anyone. We're trying to plug all those holes and make sure you get everyone you want to come in. Now from here, there are extra fields you don't have to use. Like I said, if you leave these blank, then everybody will come over. But the reason we tried to make it pretty specific is we have had requests for advisors that say, I want to use this as a value add for just my active, very wealthy, high net worth clients whom I categorized as AAA rated. Everybody's a little bit different the way you classify your information, and we want you to be able to pick.
And one of our services that we provide when you onboard with us, we help you, set all these up And we'll talk you through, if you choose this, then this happens. If you do it this way, then this happens. So we're going to make sure that's very clear for whatever your contact status is and whatever your goals are for marketing are, that we will help you set up this integration correctly for your business.
Yeah, we're showing you a lot of good stuff today. Don't think for a second you have to do it all by yourself. The servicing and writing are pretty interesting. We set this up because it happens a lot where advisors will be in one office with multiple team members, and they share one Redtail CRM for your firm, but maybe there's multiple advisors. But this is your membership with Real Wealth, and you don't want to accidentally sync it up and start marketing to your boss's clients. That would be that would be kind of sketchy. So you can either set it out to just get yourself, maybe Scooby-Doo is the servicing advisor, and you want to only advertise to these people, or also just so you know, in the background, you may be familiar with Redtail permissions. This does respect your permissions as well. So even if your colleague has contacts that fit these categories in this configuration, they still won't come in unless you have permission to see them. So that's interesting as well.
And we're going to talk about segmenting your list and how to do actual marketing campaigns to these people. This is just to allow them to come into the marketing system, and you can segment, more later based on interest and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is just to get people into your system so you can start putting campaigns on.
So since we're picking out our list, what's interesting is, okay, these are the people I want to come in. You do have the option to include contacts without email addresses. Some people like that. We just put that there as a backup, but obviously we would default that to off. But here's where it gets interesting. We want to toggle this to true because it's saying, what do you want to happen to the contacts that come in? Because if you know anything about these systems, you know that just because you add a list doesn't mean anything's going to happen to them. So we want to be careful about saying, okay, I want these people to come in, but I want to make sure that for example, their subscription is set to get the Real Wealth Weekly podcast. So this is how you say, A, who comes in, and B, what custom fields happen. Maybe you can set all these different custom fields to say, I want these people to be, ABC group, custom field, and whatnot.
Yeah, and so this is cool because once you set it, that is ongoing. So if you add 10 new clients that their status is active client, they are a AAA client, they're servicing advisors, Scooby-Doo, when they are added into Redtail, and if you have weekly selected below, when they are added into your marketing system, they will be automatically subscribed to the weekly list. So if you wanted to just have people on your monthly list, you could configure your integration, and we will do this for you, / with you. You could configure integration that anyone who matches these criteria are going to be put on your monthly list. So once this is set, it is set, which is super cool.
And all these options down here, these are custom fields that we made in this sample account. So you can create whatever you want. Maybe you want to create groups in here, or specific custom fields called life insurance marketing group, annuities marketing group. And then once you set your configuration, you can say, I want all these people to be added to this group. So basically the whole point is, we could, again, talk about this forever, but the point is we're going to set our preferences, decide what's to happen, and this is just a set it and forget it. Also editable,
yes,
but set it and forget it. So I set all of these contacts to come in. I deleted them all because I want everyone to come in. So this just means, hey, everybody's coming in, but you can be picky if you want. And then I said, okay, everyone's coming in and they're going to get my weekly subscription. Once you click save, it's going to start doing its thing, and the imports are going to happen automatically. About every 15 minutes, it's going to knock on Redtail's door and say, any changes, any new people, any updates? Boom, we're going to update that for you automatically. So with that, I would like to show you a couple samples of how, how we designed this whole marketing platform and how it works with the automation versus, our personal, the Real Wealth technologies and how it all works in together. So you've kind of heard us saying this a lot. We produce a podcast, and it's called Real Wealth Weekly. And what's nice is we can turn this show into your show. So over here, we'd replace my mugshot here with your photo, your logo, your contact information, social links. Of course, there's an area for unsubscribes and disclosures, absolutely. But there's lots of really cool features built in. And what we do here on the podcast is our host and founder, Jim, he interviews new people each week. So if I click on more podcasts, you really get a taste for how comprehensive and valuable the show is. There's inspirational pieces about, educating young children about being responsible with their money. There's business features, there's economy features, there's credit features, so on and so forth. So that's a little bit of taste of the show. And also, just so you know, this isn't the only option. If you're really into SEO and websites, you can actually embed this rectangle podcast player. This can be placed into your own site. So it's very, very flexible. We produce the show. We'd love to pre-approve if we're not already. And what we do is we load all of the content into your account here for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hover over posts and I'm going to click on campaigns. Campaigns is where the RealWell team is going to feed content in for you. Now you can see in my sample account, we already have a lot of good stuff going on here. There's a bunch of holidays. I'm going to show you some real samples. So I'm actually going to start with RealWell because this is the meat of it. This is why we developed this platform, so that we could not just produce the content for you, but also schedule it for you.
And one thing I want to emphasize, you don't have to use any one of these campaigns or all of them or none of them. You can choose. So that's one of our services. When you onboard with us, we help you set everything up. We talk you through what campaigns do what, and you can pick and choose what works best for you and your goals. So what we set up before, we integrated with Redtail. We want every single person who comes from Redtail to be on a Real Wealth weekly list. And when we did that, this campaign is available with membership with Real Wealth. So you don't have to pay extra for the content. You don't have to pay extra for compliance approval. This is part of what is available. You are not forced to use this weekly drip marketing campaign, but you can, and it's included. So I just wanted to emphasize that.
Great, yeah, good point. And then, so what actually happens is we produce the show for you. We'll brand it to you. You can even record your own voice intro, by the way. So it's your voice saying, thanks for coming to my show. Let me know if you have questions. That's all stuff we help you with when you onboard. And then when your account is set up and ready to go, notice how it's a steady feed of sent, and even into the future, scheduled. You may have seen stuff like this on platforms like, let's say, Constant Contact or MailChimp. We have used those before, and we've kind of modeled this after that. So consider all those same robust features of the do-it-yourself type platform, designing your own emails, segmenting your list, checking your analytics. This does all of that, and I will be showing you through some of it. But here's really the meat of why this partnership is so powerful with the automation of the integration. You have your database. What's going to happen to those people? So here's a sample of what we'll prepare for you. Week after week, what we'll do is we'll put your logo on top. So this is what the actual email looks like when your clients get your email. And when they get the emails from you, if they click reply, it's going to you, not us. This is just content that's put into your account for you because we're working hard for you. We got your logo here. And then this is a very strategic approach. Notice how the email is literally 2 sentences long. That's because we study marketing, and statistically speaking, people aren't going to read more than that anyway. So the email has a personal greeting. It'll say, hi, first name, or if you have a Redtail nickname field filled out, so instead of James, it'll say Jim. It will respect that. It'll say, hi, Jim, but if Jim's wife, Joanne, doesn't have a nickname, it will default back to Joanne. So it will go both ways. And then the email is very short. Notice how there's a very clear call to action. Listen to the show, and it's all very clickable. And we will set up your account so that whichever your choice is the link in the call to action. So if anyone clicks on any of this, they'll either go to here to listen to the show that we'll host on a landing page for you, or to your own site where the shows are streaming through an embeddable podcast player. Also the email, we will do a little quick recap of the previous week's episode. Notice how we don't even bother with full sentences here because we know people are just scanning on down the email. Nice little touch. We can help you add a little, kind of handwritten signature type field if you want. And then the bottom will always plug in your headshot or whatever photo you prefer. And, normal email signature type stuff. You want to make sure you're getting that brand recognition, your name, your designations, your title, however you prefer to set this up. We will go over that with you before we hit go. So it'll look the way you want it to. And then social links, unsubscribe, and of course, disclosures, are built in.
Everyone's favorite.
Everyone's favorite. We love disclosures.
So another thing I want to emphasize is, so all of these emails, they are scheduled and ready for you to go every single week. So that is included with membership. You don't have to review the content if you don't want to. There is an option to force you to approve it before it goes out. But again, we do work with over 25 different broker dealers to pre-approve the content. So if you are with, First Heartland Capital or Advisor Group or any of our partners, you can allow it to go automatically. Compliance, we do behind the scenes with your department directly. And if we're not currently working with your broker dealer, let's talk, let's get this done for you. We will definitely be more than happy to set that up. But anyways, my point is, if you look at the email, every single week, we are scheduling something for you. And once it goes out, it is marked as sent. So once it's sent, you'll have the analytics available. And then if it's something scheduled, let's say there's an episode on, Van Miller's episode, and he talked about the market, and that's something that you specialize in at, Silverdangle Financial. And you want to put an extra twist in an email to say, hey, make sure you listen to this. This is something that we can definitely help you with. This is one of my favorite episodes. Get back to me with your questions. You can edit anything that we queue up for you at any time. So we are super into automation because we want you out in the field helping more people getting, their finances together. But let's say you want to customize and really personalize things. That is all possible. You can customize, personalize everything we do, but if you do nothing, it will go out without you having to do anything. That is the beauty of how we designed our program. And for, let's say you're very specific about what your clients get. That's awesome. Definitely want to personalize that experience for your clients. You can set it so that everything is queued up. You will get a notification email saying, hey, Real Wealth has your content ready, review now. And you can check it, make your edits, change the links, do whatever you want to it. And if you do have to take that extra step with compliance at that point, we do have compliance tools that, if that's something you want to be using, we'll train you on that during, your onboarding process and how that all works. But just wanted to make that very clear. Everything is automatic and personalizable.
And we even took it one step further than that. You even have an in-between choice. So it's not just fully automatic or fully hands-in, changing, picking out what you want. Also, separately, you have the choice to add a custom message that's just in there forever. So if you wanted to, and I've actually seen this a lot, some advisors like to add their mission statement in their email template.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Cool. Yep.
There are fields where you can add a custom photo, and that's just in there until you remove it. Likewise with text.
And I have another use case for that. So one of our fields you can put in, so let's say you have a client seminar coming up in 3 months and you want to drip market it every week in your email that's already going out to everyone. You can put a section and we will help you build it. We're not going to explain like everything that, how it works exactly, but all you have to do is say, here's what I wanted to say until the event's over. Then you just take it out when your event's over. And then every single week, your email will include that special promo without you having to go in, edit the email every week, put in your promo, save, schedule, whatever. It's once to put it in, drip, drip, drip for the 3 months, and then you take it out when it's done. So we try to make this as easy as possible because, again, we don't want you clicking around, spending your time trying to understand all this. We want this to support what you're doing. And if you are very tech savvy, we have a ton of extra cool things that you can do. We would love to show you and train you on how this all works. But again, it's meant to replace a lot of manual management, especially with contact data for Redtail. So let's talk more about that for a moment. When you add a contact into Redtail that matches those integrations that we already set up, that contact will come over. Another field that comes over is the birthday. So that's another campaign that, again, you don't have to use our birthday email campaign, but if you want to, it's included with service. So Jade, why don't you show them the birthday campaign?
There we go. So what's nice about this is, again, you can either program it to say, happy birthday, James, or Jim, or nickname, regular first name. These are all personal preferences. We'll make sure are set up the way you like it before everything is launched. But the emails are still personalized, and they get a message from you And we'll swap this out, you know, at least every year so people don't get the same messages every year. You know, we're trying to add the personal touch without a lot of work, but still automatic. And then the bottom, of course, will be very compliant, disclosures built in, unsubscribe, social link, signature. So you're being so polite with your branding and your outreach and your drip marketing with zero work. And again, just like the Real Wealth campaign, this is all editable. Maybe you already have a really killer email, birthday email that you want to replace with our text. You know, our whole concept here is very simple, very light. But if you want to add something really cool, absolutely, we can help you set it and then automate it.
So that's what makes the Redtail integration so cool, is you don't have to edit your list and add the birthdays and fill in all this information. If they have a birthday in Redtail and they match the configurations of the people you want to market to in the system, they will automatically get it. And if you don't want them to get it for some reason, we can help you turn that off. But it's just awesome that it will be done without you having to click around a bunch of different places and turn on all these different settings. You have the Redtail integration, and if they match, they go through, and all these campaigns will work, whichever ones you want to go on.
So cute.
Yeah, it is pretty cute,
really
if we do say so ourselves. Again, it's all editable. If you have more, you know, more of a professional tone versus fun and light, everything again is editable. So we do have, I think we have 18 different holidays that you can choose from to, you know, market to your clients. So we do have Christmas, we have Hanukkah, we have general holiday greetings. So you just turn on whichever one makes the most sense to your clients. And you can put different people on different holiday campaigns too. That's all possible. And then my favorite campaign, other than the Real Wealth Weekly campaign, is the annual review campaign. So this idea we got from an MDRT top of the table advisor who uses our program. Basically what he used to do is do a mailer for his clients for their birthdays. And then the second piece of paper, you know, the one was happy birthday. The second piece of paper was, hey, another year has gone by. What's been going on in your life? Did you know that all these different life events affect your financial plan? So let's talk if, you know, we haven't in the past year. So we recreated that idea, and we get raving reviews about how well this annual review reminder works. So it's dressed up as a thank you note. It goes out on their renewal date in Redtail. So if you have the client renewal date in Redtail filled out, and you have this campaign turned on, which again, we turn it on for you during onboarding, it's one and done. If you have that date filled out, they will get this annual review reminder on that date, the client since date. Thank you for showing that. Cool. So basically, it's dressed up as a thank you note. Hey, Haley, you know, another year has gone by. Thank you so much for your loyalty. You're a great client. We really appreciate your business. I want to take a moment to check in with you. If you didn't know, a lot of these different things affect costs or goals within your plan. What that right there tells people, I mean, I'm sure a lot of us have clients that don't want to give out information that they don't absolutely have to give out because they are very private, like a Ron Swanson type. But yeah, like a lot of people. But that tells them this could affect costs or goals within your plan. So it gives them a reason to share this information with you. So some examples, people got a promotion, a raise, all these different things. Maybe they need to be putting more away for retirement. You know, if they have a new...
love talking about their kids and their grandkids.
Oh, yes, exactly. And they could start a 529 plan. Maybe they need life insurance, college savings. And this is, again, all editable. So if you want your AAA high net worth clients to get this 4 times a year, maybe you want that extra added touch. Hey, second quarter is ending. It's time for your quarterly review. Or maybe you want your C clients to get a different version of this, or you want your prospects to get something separate. It's all customizable, and we have this one ready to go, ready to implement as soon as you're ready. And it really just reminds people, here's all the reasons that you need me, because all these different things might happen, and I can make sure that you're up to date. So it really gives people that settling feeling of, I am being taken care of. So that's another campaign that's included in your service. You can choose to use it. You don't have to. Another cool thing that I'm going to mention about campaigns, you see all these ones that we have queued up ready for you. You can do your own. A lot of clients, of our clients, advisors, do seminars. That is an amazing way to market yourself. We definitely encourage that. And that is one of the services that we do provide. We can create custom campaigns for you. That is an additional price, but we will train you on how to do it yourself if you would like. So basically, what we normally recommend for different seminar topics is, you know, make sure they get a save the date, make sure they get a couple of reminders the day before the reminder, or maybe the morning of with be there at this time, here's the dress code, here's where it is, make sure to RSVP to this person, and then a follow-up. So what we do in our follow-up is say, hey, thanks, if you haven't yet, set an appointment with me, here's how to do that. By the way, so I'm assuming a lot of new people might be at your seminar. You might have 20 different prospects. So that's why we say at the end of the seminar, thanks for coming, set an appointment. By the way, here's a value add that I provide to my clients is Real Wealth Weekly. This is my way of keeping in touch with you between appointments and just making sure you're up to date on all these different industry topics. So it lets them know that they are about to get this weekly email. Again, you don't have to say that. It's just what we recommend and what we have seen works for advisors that use our program. And they will automatically get the program. So what this has to do with Redtail, let's say you have a seminar on Social Security. You don't want people who are 20 to be invited to your Social Security seminar because they don't care about Social Security right now. But you want to invite everyone who's maybe 50, 55 and older. But maybe you want to cap it at 70 because they're well into claiming their retirement. Whatever makes sense for your list. So we recommend you do a tag group and you say Social Security or whatever the topic of your seminar is, and you can put people into this tag group, and the Real Wealth system will copy that tag group, and that's your invitation list. So all those different fields did come through. Remember, we had servicing advisor, status, category, all that stuff is in the system. You can pull this from the system, but we don't necessarily recommend doing it in the system, because if you do it in Redtail, if you want to add someone to your marketing list, you're already in Redtail all day long. All you need to do is add them to the tag group, and they will receive the future emails coming out that are sent to that tag group. It's automatically adding them onto the Social Security seminar list. They will get the next invitation. Another fun thing that does when you do it from Redtail, Redtail is your data king, is let's say you have a client coming in, you want to think like, oh, did we invite them to the seminar or not? I can't remember if I put them on the list. You're already in Redtail all day. You just can look at their contact record and see, do they have that tag? Are they in that tag group? Great. That's how I know that, yep, Ellen DeGeneres is invited to my event seminar. I invite her to all my seminars. Anyways, so the other thing I was going to say is with the contact advanced search, it's cool because Redtail has a lot more client-specific confidential information that we don't take in our marketing system. Again, we are very respectful of that private information. A lot of it, Redtail doesn't even give us the option of taking because that's weird and not cool. So you can get really specific. Let's say you only want people who make at least $1 million a year to be invited to your seminar, or you want to market this specifically to people you know, in these different things or have a certain investment. All your information is in Redtail, so pull that advanced search in Redtail and add them to that tag group. And again, we got that tag group down. We're ready to market to it. There's nothing you need to do in the system except send your email to that group. And again, we can support that and make sure that you know what you're doing.
Right.
But yeah, that's how that works, and it's very, very helpful.
Yeah, just to kind of put that in a nutshell, you want to have a Social Security seminar in your office? Great. Maybe you want to only invite people based on their assets under management or some other qualification that's pretty sensitive information. All you do is create a tag group in your Redtail, and that list of contacts will automatically translate into the Real Wealth system for you to do with what you may. You may call the Real Wealth team and say, hey, I need some help designing, you know, a series of emails and invitations and follow-up. We can help you with that. Or maybe you want to design your own email blast. There's an entirely very robust menu just for email and social media designing and scheduling. And it works just like, you know, just the way you want it to. You can schedule it. You can say who's getting it. You can check the results afterwards. And that's very important as well. So here's an example of the types of beautiful emails you can design in the system. This is an image. I'm not going to lie, totally confess. I made this on Canva. It's free. Took me about 3 seconds, and I made a Wednesday Wisdom newsletter header. And then I made a template that I can plug in with what I may when we want to send a Wednesday Wisdom fun fact of the Wednesday. Don't forget to bring your kids in to get life insurance, so on and so forth. This is all up to you, and it's all readily available at your fingertips. But the thing we want to emphasize to you guys is two things. One, you can choose how involved you want to be. So if you want to tap into real wealth, automate it, walk away, and just pick up the orders when people call, great. But on the flip side, you can use this sort of like a constant contact or MailChimp, but with the added benefit of content coming in for you automatically.
So a lot of you, I'm sure, get feedback, and you guys get a lot of emails, or your clients say, I get too many emails or whatever. What's nice about our system, we just launched this feature a few months ago, where they can actually customize their subscription with you. So let's say you have the Real Wealth Weekly campaign turned on, you do your own monthly newsletter, they can subscribe to that, you have events all the time, you do holiday greetings, that's all awesome. But let's say I'm your client and I don't care about anything, I just want to know when your next seminar is. I can click the unsubscribe link in the bottom of all your emails that is required by law. They're always in your emails in the system. We have that all set for you. When they unsubscribe, they will be brought to a menu that says, hey, are you sure you want to unsubscribe totally, or would you still like to get some of our emails that we have? And they can choose, I still want to get event notifications, I don't want anything else, or vice versa. Let's say I'm in Florida and you're in Wisconsin, I'm not coming to your seminars, stop inviting me to your seminars. Great, they can choose to personalize their experience with you and only get the Real Wealth Weekly campaign, holiday greetings, etc., but not be notified every time you would have an event that they can't come to. So it just makes it very personalized for them. So another thing I want to talk about in the system, and Jay's just kind of showing you how you can customize that. And again, we will train you. You don't have to learn all this from this one webinar. But another thing that's cool that I want to show you is the analytics offered in the system. So again, there's analytics in most marketing systems similar to this, where there's emails, there's social posts. By the way, we do Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter automatic posts for you as well. Just forgot to say that. But all that is automated as well. You can use the scheduling tool for your own posts as well. Anyways,
let's talk about some of the analytics and ways to gauge your results. So what's really neat is that, you know, if you're on this webinar, you probably understand that once an email is sent, you can get results. You can click on that sent message, and I'll absolutely demonstrate that for you in a moment. But I want to show you the cool thing first is that we took it one step further. Because again, as you know, our whole shtick here is we're trying to make it automatic and as easy as possible, because you're busy with your clients and you don't have time to set all this stuff up. So instead of having to, you know, muck through all of your sent messages and seeing what happened to them and then getting your prospect list, we developed a feature called lead scoring. So see on my home screen here, I have 6 hot leads. Well, what we do is anyone that we want to keep track of their engagement, we'll categorize them as a lead. Doesn't necessarily mean client to prospect. It's just to say, okay, I want to see what their engagement is. And then as they open and click on emails, they accumulate points. And when they reach enough points, they become warm leads and hot leads. And it's all over a rolling period of time. So if they're highly engaged over a 6-month period of time, they're going to be hot leads. So if you just want to use this as a prospecting tool, set it and forget the automation, love it. Maybe log in once a month to get your hottest list of the most engaged people to fill up your calendar. Who wouldn't love that? Well, boom, here's a list of your top 6 people in my fake account of your 6 most engaged people. So you can sit down and call J-Lo, and you can call Freddie Mercury and call Harry and be like, oh, by the way, I love that you're getting these podcasts. And then, oh, I can see that he opened this one 2 times on philanthropy. So now I have something to talk to Harry Potter about. I can say, wow, you know, I just got involved with this charity, and it made me think of you because I know you're really into philanthropy. And then Harry's going to talk about himself for 5 hours, and you say, why don't you make an appointment?
Yep. So here's another cool thing that we do is every episode that we provide that's included in the Real Wealth Weekly campaign that, again, you don't have to use, but it does come with your service in using this system that integrates with Redtail. You can say, you know, hey, did you know philanthropy offers a lot of tax benefits that we can save you some money on your taxes? People love saving money. By the way, you love when people save money because that means they have more money to put away for retirement, to invest with you and buy life insurance that they need and all these different things. So the more you save them in taxes, the more business they can do with you. So Kayla looks pretty engaged. So let's say, Kayla, I met her from a seminar I hosted 3 years ago. I really don't know her, but she's been on my list and she seems pretty engaged. What this is telling me is she opens just about every single one. So she's very engaged generally, but what does she actually care about? So this is telling me she got my email, she clicked to open and she read the email, but she did not click the call to action to visit the entire podcast and to listen to the actual episode. So I'm going to look at clicks. That kind of tells me she wanted more information than was offered in that email. So for example, let's say she clicked on Joe Jordan's episode on 5 years later, where are we now? So I'm going to say, okay, that was about the economy and taxes. So when I call Kayla, I'll say, hey, Kayla, this is Angela from Silver Naval Financial. How you doing? If you recall, you attended my seminar. It's been great. I don't know if you've been checking out my emails, but I have been, sending you some awesome information every single week. Did you happen to catch the episode with Joe Jordan on the taxes? Did you get a chance to listen to that? And she'll either say yes or no, or what she thought of it. Great. I wanted to call you because I've gotten a lot of great feedback from my clients that this really helped them, save a lot of money in taxes that they had no idea about. And I just wanted to make sure that, I feel obligated to tell you that I can help you with this too. I don't want you to, not get this done because I didn't call you. I want to make sure that I made that connection to make you aware. Do you have time on Tuesday at 3 p.m.? Maybe you can come in, let's talk about this. And they'll say, yes or no, or I'm busy that day. Okay, well, great. How about Thursday at 9 p.m.? Or 9 p.m., that's crazy, 9 a.m. But let's say for some reason, they don't want to schedule the appointment. There's a very easy way to come off of that call without losing the lead. Great. Hey, Kayla, no problem. You know what? I'm going to continue sending you this great information, completely complimentary, no obligation. Just make sure that, when you find a topic or something comes up in your life that you need help with, just keep me in mind because I'm here to help. So now you're planting that seed and making sure that now you've made the first move. She hasn't met you in 3 years either. So now you've made the first move and it's going to be much easier for her to reach out to you.
And on the flip side, so what we've been showing and giving you ideas for is how to follow up based on your results. Well, what if you don't have time to log in and see your results? Maybe you want some notifications. What if you don't even know what the show is about? So literally, we've thought of every angle to make your life as easy as possible. So for example, and this is kind of like a small screen check, because I want you to see the whole thing in one little view here, is that not only will the shows be produced and the emails go out to your clients, we're going to email you every Monday and let you know what's going on, and not just that, but give you some prospecting ideas and opportunities based on the topic of the week. So for example, on this Van Miller episode, we'll email you on Monday. By the way, the emails don't go out until Tuesday. If you know anything about, SEO and good times for open rates, then Tuesday mornings are really good. So on Monday, when the show actually airs, we'll email you and say, hey, this is what the show is about. If you want to listen to it, you absolutely can. Here's what it's about. That way you don't actually have to sit there and listen to a consumer podcast about stuff you probably already know about. So we're just going to tell you off the bat, boom, 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 this is what it's about.
And that is an opportunity, again, if you want to really personalize stuff, that's your reminder, hey, this is going to go out tomorrow if you don't do anything. Now's your chance to customize it if you would like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great idea. And then we even take it a step further and say, what are the actual prospecting opportunities? So we give you an idea of whom to talk about. Van is pretty all-encompassing, so this one was a little less specific. Approach anyone on this topic. What would you ask them? And then for the access button, we even give you an extra goodie, an extra resource. Maybe it's a webinar, maybe it's a tool or a discount on Van's books or newsletters or something. You never know. We got lots of cool stuff up our sleeves, but we're going to give you access to some extra tools to help you succeed on this topic.
So what's cool, let me just rehash that for you. So let's say this topic has everything to do with your specialty in your business. Because remember, every single week on the weekly email, we have a different topic. Sometimes we talk about really basic stuff like understanding your credit score that, none of us are really in that business, but it does affect your financial plan and, people care about that. So we definitely want to be relevant to the consumer. But let's say one of the episodes is exactly what you want to do business on. So let's say you're a life insurance guy and this episode comes out where Van Miller talks about here's why taxes are rising. The national debt is like skyrocketing. Their taxes are probably going to rise in the near future. here's what you can do about it to make sure that in the future, your retirement is safe and you don't have to, take out a ton of money and then you're going to run out. Talk to me about life insurance, or, talk to your advisor about life insurance. So we're going to tell you exactly what to say. And Van has an awesome question. I'm just going to share it with you right now because it's that great. He is the questions master. Mm-hmm. He always asks his clients, it's hilarious. Is there somebody at the Internal Revenue Service that you're so madly in love with that you want to leave all your money to? And so we're like, what?
Van says to people at airports. I'm not even kidding you. He walks out of the airport with 15 appointments.
He'll take a shot at the bar and just slam his hands down like, what? Like, why are you leaving all this money? Are you in love with someone at the IRS? It's hilarious. So basically they're like, no. And then you just say, well, why are you leaving all this money? Did you know you can, use life insurance, get some tax benefits, save money, and then have a bunch of money later as well? So it tells you exactly what the opportunity is, how to approach people, what to say, and then, hey, I haven't, brushed up on my Social Security skills recently, or whatever the episode's on. That's what we have that resource for. So it's extra support, especially when you're interested in that very topic.
Right. And what's nice is you can see on the screen here, here's an overview of what we send you. Again, no more than 2 or 3 sentences. You're busy. We get it. Then we'll email your contacts on your behalf. Again, no more than 2 or 3 sentences. They're busy. They get it. And what we're trying to do is drive them to listen to the show to find out why it's so important to work with you. And the podcast is so effective because it's passive. People won't have time to sit there and read 5-page market reports or much less understand it. They can listen to this while they're driving, while they're folding laundry, so on and so forth.
And that's what's so great about those analytics is opens, people quickly consume those couple sentences. Whether or not they take action to listen, that they at least read the subject line, which we always pose, as a question, that they're still getting a drip of the content, whether or not they listen to the show. But when they click, that means they listen to the show. They're pretty interested if they just listen to 20 minutes of this topic. So definitely want to pay attention to your analytics. Again, you don't have to, but if you want to get really into your leads, we will help make sure that that is part of your prospecting system that you have in your office. So real quickly, we want to get to questions in a moment. One more thing, Jade is just going to show you our social media tool that is also included in the system. You don't have to use it, but you can, and it's included.
Yeah, so as you probably know, if you scroll through social media and you read something great, it's going to disappear in a few minutes because of the nature of how much content's going through. So what we'll do is with each episode comes a handful of posts for Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter each. So depending on if you have a Facebook business page or maybe just a Twitter or LinkedIn, you can connect as many Facebook business pages as you want from as many accounts as you want. You can connect as many Twitter accounts. Maybe you have like 2 arms of your financial business, your insurance arm, and then you also have your investments arm of your firm. Well, then you can have 2 different Twitter accounts posting as those different businesses to their particular audiences. Likewise for LinkedIn. So you can sync as many as you want, but here's where it gets really cool. You can say, I want these to have access. So now that I've synced in this Twitter account, I can schedule my own posts. I can go crazy. I can add something pretty cool. And my Twitter,
promote your seminar or whatever.
Yeah, and you can schedule. It's a very powerful scheduling tool. So a month before your seminar, sit down once for 10 minutes, schedule all your posts. But the reason that there was a star next to it is because, okay, yeah, I want my Twitter available for my own posting, but once you click that star, that's when the Real Wealth automatic posts are going to choose the correct one. So we all know that you probably have like 18 Facebook business pages for your financial business, and then your kid's Boy Scout club, and then your daughter's diving club, and there's so much, distinguishing. So we're trying to help you set this up.
Okay, so we're going to get into questions. I already see quite a few coming in. Go ahead and type those in. A couple reminders I just want to make very clear to everyone is part of our onboarding with Real Wealth is we will help you configure your Redtail integration and make sure everything works how you want to. We just unloaded all the different options that you have. It's probably pretty overwhelming, and that's very normal. But what I want to make sure you know is you do not have to, configure everything yourself. You don't have to understand how the integration works. You will tell us, basically Jade, she's our advisor success coach, you'll tell her what you want to happen, and she will set it up and explain, what she's doing to make sure that you know what's going to happen for your clients. So that's super important that I want you to know that we are here to help. Again, the key to our mission is basically your success. We want you out there working with clients. We want you accumulating new prospects. So anything we can do to make your life easier, we are on board. And that integration help that also, goes to show also with our onboarding process entirely. So a lot of advisors, I'm sure that you might have your own newsletter. You might already have a different marketing program that has content and all these different things. We're not trying to replace anything that you're doing. We're trying to enhance it. So if you already have an awesome library of content that you love, we can help you schedule it. We can also help you automate it. So we definitely want to walk you through your onboarding process, talk about what you're already doing, how we can enhance it and customize this to you. So let's get into some questions.
Sure. I got a really great question coming in from Morgan. She says, okay, this is great with the Redtail integration. Can I also add my own list separately? And the answer is a big fat yes. So this is as much of an automation and or do-it-yourself as you want. So what's really nice is, you use your Redtail, for example, with your main book of business. You have your primary load of clients and prospects in there. Well, what if you just had a seminar that you piggybacked on, someone that you refer business to, let's say the CPA that you guys did a joint seminar, and you want to keep that list separate, maybe not add them into Redtail yet because they're not really your leads yet. Well, then upload that list as a spreadsheet, or we'll help you. Add that list to your RealWealth account, and then set your preferences. Maybe you want them to get RealWealth content. Maybe you just want to drip on them on their birthday so that they know who you are. So many different options, but yes, you can absolutely add your own list.
And let's show the contact list again, because I also want to show that if they're coming from Redtail or if they're just in your system, if you look at contacts. Because if they're just in your system, it's just going to say their name. If they're coming from Redtail, it's going to have the Redtail logo. So Haley Bieber, she's in Redtail. So if you update Haley Bieber in this system, it's going to get overwritten by Redtail within 15 minutes. So anyone that's from Redtail, you want to make sure you update it from Redtail. Redtail is your data king. Mm-hmm. Once you update it, our system will reflect it within 15 minutes. So if they're just in your system, that's fine. And you can, what? Just in your system, Justin Bieber. Okay. Anyways, so if they're in your system, that's fine. You can update them, put them on different lists. But if you can help it, I would recommend put everyone into Redtail, let the integration do the work, because updating it is going to be much, much, much easier. Mm-hmm. We're getting a lot of questions about how to get started in pricing. So one thing is, why don't you put the text slide up so people can get started right away, and we can continue answering some more questions. But basically, it depends how you are affiliated, if we're already working with your company and different things like that. But for the most part, it is either $60 a month for some of our industry partners. So if you're with, if you're a NAPA member, if you're a member of Legacy Premier Advisors, Clarity to Prosperity, we have a lot of different industry partners. So if you're not already a NAPA member, you should be. It's awesome. We love NAPA. And it'll be $60 a month, and you can start for $1 today. We normally charge a $250 setup fee because we do include compliance service. We do include all your onboarding, your setup help. We configure your integration for you. We train you on all the different customizations that you want to do. We brand everything for you. So normally we charge $250. Today, if you sign up, it's $1 and $60 a month. Again, there are other pricing options available, but that is the general price. So there is not special pricing for Redtail users. It's just awesome because Redtail is our first and only integration right now. So if you're a Redtail user,
started with the best.
Yeah, we started with the best. We love Redtail. So we want to make sure that that works. So if you're using Redtail, let us know, like if you want something specific to be available, we will update this integration. So let us know your feedback. We're all about it. Mm-hmm. And we did get a question, is our system a CRM? No. Some advisors use it, but it just really doesn't make sense. You really should have an industry CRM like Redtail because they have all the capabilities to add very specific and personal identifiable information like account numbers, social security numbers, all your account details, they have the fields ready for you to just fill in. Instead of in our system, we have a notes field, but it's not as robust. You would have to like remember all the information to put in there. Redtail also has some really cool workflows, automations. They have everything built for the financial services. So you definitely want to use Redtail. You know, and even if you do use Redtail and, you know, the Real Wealth system, we still recommend that you update your information from Redtail. So Redtail is king. We read that information into your marketing based on what you tell us you want to have happen.
Yeah. Speaking
And
of
I want
that,
to,
Jack had a, go ahead.
I just wanted to add one more thing. And one of the big things about when it comes to, you know, note taking and things like that is Redtail is actually built to have a compliant note taking, it's all compliant. So the thing is, if you're using an incompliant, you know, system for your notes and things like that, even though you might be able to get by with it, if any sort of audit were to happen and things like that, you could very quickly get into hot water. So, you know, we have a system in place to make sure that that doesn't happen. So that's one of the big ones there as well.
Yeah, definitely. And what we have in our system to, you know, also be compliant is all the marketing stuff. It is either pre-approved or we will show you how to use the compliance tool. And it's very turnkey, very systematized so that you can be as hands-off as humanly possible.
Thanks so much for joining us today for this particular session. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call at 800-206-5030, option 3 for support, or just shoot us an email over to support@redtailtechnology.com. Thanks a lot and have a great day.